No Standing 8 Boxing Podcast. We discuss every organization and weight class with your host, Bronx Bomber, educated with the craft. Punch a topic hard like heavyweights, hitting the bag from the top rank to the upcoming. Washed up to the dark horse, champs, #1 contenders. Quick jab or sharp cross, we your source. Come get it. Tuning in, you can have it. Internationally known, our information is valid. See, we on a higher plane, no 2 episodes the same. We get better as we train, so on top we remain. Come join the conversation, this insight you'll gain. And then outside of the rain, we do the damn thing.
All right, fight fans, welcome to another edition of No Standing 8 Boxing Talk. And today I got a very special guest with me, the very talented from North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, fighting out of Las Vegas right now, right?
Yeah, Winston, North Carolina.
Winston-Salem. Yep. That's right, baby. Yep. Winston, North Carolina, 5-0. Looking to go 6-0 with another KO in the books. Okay, by 90% KO, Richard. They're very talented, J'hon Ingram. J'hon, I want to thank you for being with me this morning, taking time. I know you get ready for a fight, so we're gonna get right to this. How you doing this morning, champ?
Doing good. Getting ready to start another day in camp. After this interview, I'm about to go get some sparring in. So it's another good day.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna talk about the upcoming fight. We're gonna talk about your sparring sessions because your sparring sessions are epic, And then we're gonna talk about you first. But I want you to take some time to introduce yourself to our followers, our readers, our platforms international, so everybody around the world is going to get to know who J'hon Ingram is. So you say you were from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Talk to me a little bit about your upbringing, your family life, and ultimately what brought you to boxing, man, because boxing is big down here, man. Football, basketball. Right. Football, basketball is what we do here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
You want the very rare breed. Talk to me about that.
I grew up in Winston-Salem. My dad, he was doing his thing in the streets. He got locked up when I was at a young age. I was probably like 1 or 2 years old. And, once he got locked up, stuff got hard for my mom. She had to work multiple jobs to provide for me. I'd be spending most of my time living with my nana while my mom would work, So I had good structure. But at the same time, we had the best environments at that time, and that effect of me not having my dad at the beginning of my life because he didn't get home till I was like 14, 13 years old. I would get picked on a lot. I didn't have that male figure to teach me how to defend myself and all that. So my mom, she put me into boxing, and she actually didn't want me to compete. It was just for me to learn how to defend myself, because I was getting in a lot of fights. And the coaches at that time, when I first began, they was like, he got a natural talent for the sport, and they was trying to get my mom to get me to compete. But she, like I said, she didn't want me to compete. She just wanted me to learn how to defend myself. And then eventually, around that time, my dad came home when I was like 13, 14. That's when I finally had started competing in the amateurs.
Wow. So if anybody knows anything about boxing, you really can't start competing until you're 8 years old. USA boxing rules. And so when did you actually step into the gym? At what age?
I was about 6 or 7.
And then you didn't fight a match until you were 13 is what I'm understanding.
Yes, sir.
So you had 7 years of just straight, just teaching. So what was that first fight like? That first amateur fight?
I remember it was packed. I had a lot of people there, a lot of the city there. It was a lot of nerves. There's a lot of nerves. I knew what I could do, but it was my first time in front of a big crowd. And at that time I never was the type of kid that liked the attention and all that, like to be in front of people. So it was real nerves. Like I really didn't get over that until about my third professional fight with that, actually. Because I just never been that type to be into the crowds and being in the middle of a crowd with all the attention on me.
That's right. How many amateur fights did you ultimately had to have before you turned pro?
12. Round 12.
So round 12, right? So you did 12, but tons of years training.
Right.
before you made that step. So dad comes into your life. You start, doing sparring, and you start doing some fights, and then comes the time to have that talk with your team and with yourself. Every amateur boxer comes to that crossroad, or whether they should stay amateur or go pro.
Mm.
And with 12 fights, some of your peers are in the 200, 300, 400 amateur fights.
Right.
And with 12 fights, your team said, you know what, he's ready to go. Talk to me about that thought process and what made you go pro only after 12 fights.
In my head, I already had it. Once I turned 18, I wanted to go pro. I always had that pro style in the amateurs. It was a couple of fights I lost that I felt like I lost because I had that flashy pro style, dropping my hands and being all slick and stuff. So I was just always ready and felt like I was just ready for the pros. So we had that talk at that time. I had a coach named Danny Akers. We had that talk, and he was like, "If I really feel like I'm ready, that's what we're gonna start working on. Him getting me ready for the pros." And that's what we started doing. And I want to say when I was 18, that's when I had my last amateur fight. And he was started getting me ready for the pros. And then that's when I had my first pro fight in 2022.
How I feel about this? From a woman that didn't want you to fight, and now her son is pretty much a bona fide professional climbing the ranks. How she feel about it now?
She love it. She love it because I love it. So she see what I could do in the sport and what I done did. So she support me all the way.
Yeah. Listen, I saw you fight here at the T.J. Robinson Life Center in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we didn't know what we were in for that night. Obviously, when I saw the fight card, I'm like, hold on one second. I heard this name. All right. And I know why I heard the name because of the Rolly video. And I said, oh, shoot, he's here.
Mm.
And listen, aside from the Rolly video, I really had to see you. But, Nas, the rapper Nas, he got this song, It Ain't Hard to Tell. Listen, it wasn't hard to tell. Once I saw the first, like, you coming out the corner, I was like, oh, yeah, he for real. I say, he is for real. And then you have a following. Your folks and your fans came out, man, and they were wearing all North Carolina blue. Talk to me about that. Talk to me. Tell our readers, tell our listeners who you are as a fighter, because I think people just put you in this bubble with the Rolly video.
Mm.
All right. And these sparring videos that happened at the Mayweather gym. But what don't they know about J'hon the boxer?
It's a lot they don't know. It's a lot of people ain't seen. I haven't really got in my bag yet in my actual fights. Like when you see me in North Carolina, that was my first time fighting in 2 years because my last fight was in 2022. So I didn't even know how I was going to react to that. Then I just had another fight on a bigger stage on DAZN a couple of months ago. I didn't even know, I wasn't even mentally there for that because I had just lost my brother also. But that, like, people don't understand ring rest the real thing. So I haven't really got to show what I'm really capable of. And that's why I'm ready to step up the competition too, because I feel like the better I step up the competition, the better I be showing what I can do and coming out. Because like I can even feel it in the sparring. Like if I'm sparring somebody they don't got that much skills, like I don't really be up in it for real. But when I get in there with somebody I know that can go at it, like I'm a whole different beast. And that's what I want to show people. Like, I could box, I could brawl. I can fight off the back foot. I can take it to the person. I can do everything. I'm a versatile fighter. And that's what, I look forward to showing everybody.
You are, I could tell, you save all your talking for Twitter and the ring because you're very humble right now. I'm not going to let you slide that easy, right? So, I saw you fight. And I'm gonna throw some things out there that the fans probably don't know about you. You tell me yes or no, right? All
Mm.
right. So speed, you fast.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
speed for sure.
yeah, you fast. I saw a ring IQ right away. You dissected that guy. You didn't know who you were fighting and whatnot. And I saw a little struggle because he was bombarding you. And I would recap this fight for you because I got a that guy came in and immediately you sideswept, you hit him to the body, you came upstairs with a double hook. That's still here. So you got ring IQ, right?
Right.
Right. So we're describing you to the fans right now. Speed, ring IQ. Uh, you fight in angles. You move left and right. You don't come in and out. And the most of all, you can crack.
Yeah.
For a little person, with both with both hands, right?
Right. Yeah. With both hands.
Do you feel like people underestimate you and your power?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's 50-50. You know, I really got known for my power after the Rolly sparring. And that's when I really got known for it. But really, like, I didn't even show all my power at that moment. Like, you know, that was just turning my body with using my legs with that punch. You know, I didn't even really put nothing into it. And you know, they say all the power comes from the legs. So, you know, that wasn't like a powerful arm punch. That was just all power from the legs. But it's done been times where like, you know, I done had some brutal knockouts in the gym with just arm punches. So I feel like when people hear about that, you know, people be worried and scared. And then some people, you know, they be wanting to test it. I had a lot of people come up to Mayweather's gym just to want to spar me, just to see, you know, if what all the hype was about. But once people get in there and they actually like feel my body shots, then they be knowing the power is there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure after they spar, they leave like this. They quiet. They do a lot of
Yeah,
talking.
I done had a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, we're gonna get into all that a little bit, man. Because we're gonna talk about that Shakur Stevenson in the Mayweather gym and all that and everything that was happening there and what you did to us.
Got
And then but what I want to go back to is you mentioned it, and it was on my agenda to talk about. You had a Twitter post in September, and you were saying that mentally you weren't all there for that fight. I'm looking at the Twitter post right now because you had lost your blood brother, is what you said. And are you okay to talk about that? Talk to me about that.
yeah. I'm good to talk
What
about it
what
now.
what happened? You were preparing for a fight, and in the middle of preparing for the fight, your brother got killed.
Right. Yeah.
What happened with that?
He was dealing with this chick, you know, and it was you know, I really don't know all the details like on my brother end. I just know the details on her end. And she was like one of them abusive type chicks. Like she done hit him in the right under the eye with a hammer before it gave him a big gash under the eye and stuff like that. So he and she had a history of doing that, like with boyfriends. She had like a police report like that. And the night, you know, he said, forget it, you know, he was trying to leave. Uh, uh she wasn't having that. So she called her brother to come and her brother ended up shooting my brother and she stabbed my brother.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was something that you know the family had took a big loss because like my brother, you know, he was just a lovable guy. Like, you know, he ain't do no harm to nobody, you know, he just wanted to take care of his kids and keep pushing. So that was some you know, that we didn't like it was unexpected at all. Like matter of fact, that's actually, you know, him right there on my wall. But yeah, that was something that just caught everybody off guard. And then you know, me and my brother, since I moved, I don't be talking to family that much. So it like the times we did talk, you know, it was like real sentimental times. So like when I had just had my baby, you know, he wanted to see the pictures of the baby and stuff and couldn't wait to meet her. So, you know, that kind of hurt me real bad that, you know, my brother was never going to be able to meet my baby.
Well, my condolences to you and your family. I know that you were in the middle of camp when this happened.
Yeah.
And then why it would have been understandable and for you to pull out that fight, but why did you continue with the fight?
I had a lot of anger in me, like a lot, like, and that's the thing always loved about boxing. Even when my mom put me into it, it helped me channel that anger. And like the way I was feeling, like I ain't want to do nothing no more. Like I just wanted to go home and do some things. So I was like, I had to try to keep my mind off of it. Looking back at it, I was definitely not in the right mind state to fight. I should have withheld myself from fighting. And people in my camp was trying to get me, you know, like just, hey, like, you know, take some time to yourself and all that. But, you know, as me being a fighter, you know, we fight, we push through things, we fight through things. So, you know, just thought that was something I could do. But once it actually came time down to fight time, like, like if you go back and watch like my ring walk and everything, you could tell like I'm not there at all. Like I felt it when I was walking to the ring. Like when they had the camera all in my face, I didn't really want to smile. Like I just didn't feel like myself at all. Like I didn't even feel like I was at a fight.
Yeah,
Like really I was fighting off instincts the whole time.
yeah. You had a lot going on in 2024. 2024 was a big year for
Mm.
J'hon Ingram and the Ingram team. You're fighting, you're fighting 3 times this year after a 2-year layoff.
Yep.
You suffered a loss of a family member. You are very active on Twitter. The fans, the boxing fans, boxing Twitter are starting to get to know you. Some good responses and a lot of hate too.
Yeah.
And you also a loss. I know your daughter. I know it's your daughter, right?
Right. Yeah.
Was born before your brother passed away, but a loss was replaced with a life. And
Mhm.
and I saw you right now. You smiled when you talked about your daughter. What does it mean to you to be a father?
Oh, it means everything, you know, the type of lifestyle I was living, I never thought I would be a father. You know, which wasn't no crazy lifestyle. It was just, you know, I never really was a type to settle down. I'd be moving around and stuff. You know, I like to get up and leave whenever I want to, do what I want to. But like that doesn't change to that the baby, you know. I don't travel like I was before, or anything. But it definitely made me a better man, you know. And it made me go harder in boxing. It made me grind more. You know, it was something it was one of them things, you know, people say you don't understand until it happens. It was like that. Like, you know, I never understand like, you know, why my mom and dad will always go so hard, no matter if I get in trouble or pissed them off or anything. Like they, you know, they was always there if I was right or wrong. And, you know, I understood because like I was their parents, but it was like some things I did where it was like, why they still helping me in this type of situation. But once I had the baby, I'm like, you know, I would do anything for her, you know. So it definitely made me a better person, a better man.
You were signed to Mayweather Promotions, and this was big a few months ago. Uh, and you made the decision to leave Mayweather Promotions. Uh, and the boxing world, we saw it. Talk to us in detail. Why'd you make that decision?
So it ain't no secret. It's been going on for years that, you know, a lot of his guys don't be getting fights. You know, it's like some guys get fights and then a lot of time everybody else be sitting. So when I first came around, you know, he was throwing me on exhibitions and stuff to keep me busy. I was telling them like, hey, like, can we make these real fights? They was giving me the commission running around and stuff. So I was like, it's cool, I'm still keeping money in my pockets. I'm still being active, but I wanted real fights. So um at the time he signed me, he signed like 3 or 4 other people. So it was all fresh signees. And they just kept hitting us with the runaround. Okay, you fighting at the beginning of the year, you fighting at the middle of the year, fighting at the end of the year, and we're not getting no fights, so it I can't really speak on everybody else, but me, it put me like in a real depressing mode because I wasn't one of the fighters that he took care of. Like some of the fighters he put in housing and give them cars and stuff. Like I came to Vegas with my own car and got my own place. So, when you're not really eating like you was at first, being active, money starts slowing up. So, as things get depressing, you want to fight, you want to keep getting out there. And then like with the sparring, then everybody knowing me for the sparring, but like, okay, well, he's sparring these good guys and touching them up, but he not fighting. So, I'm thinking like, especially after the rolling, I'm like, oh, they're gonna capitalize off that and start getting me active, getting me moving. But obviously we seen that wasn't the case. So um it came a time me and Floyd, we had a talk on the phone and it was some things said on the phone that, I just didn't agree with as a man. And I was like, that draws the line for me. And then especially with me with the baby on the way at that time, I was like, I can't keep doing this. I got a mouth to feed. It's either I'm gonna have to get my career going or I'm gonna have to give up boxing, especially now since I got a mouth to feed. So if it really wasn't for the baby, I would have still gave, the money team a chance again. And I would probably wouldn't, ain't no telling where we would be at right now. But I would have gave them another chance if it really wasn't for the baby. And I'm happy, that it worked out at the end for me. I feel like it worked out at the end for the guys that I was in camp with. Cause after I did all that, camp Leonard got removed from the camp. They put somebody else in and it looked like the guys, they active now, they getting fights and stuff. So, I'm happy for them and glad that they getting the movement that we was all wanting when I was there.
So your movement, it's kind of like the sacrificial lamb, helped those other guys. It's what I hear you saying, sort of.
Yeah, that the way I look at it, that's how I feel. Because unless it was already about to happen, it just happened all at the
Coincidentally.
same time. But it
What?
seemed like, with the things I was saying,
Yeah.
a certain person got removed, they put somebody else, and now things getting moving.
What exactly did Floyd tell you on the phone that you felt like on a man level he kind of disrespected you?
That's just something I won't put out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'll probably ever put that out. It was something like, it was one of them moments like, damn, I wouldn't thought you would snoop that low.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And do you have any insight into Leonard and what he had going on with fighters not getting fights and all that? Or that was something that was happening behind closed doors?
Um, from my understanding at that time, like, he was working for Javante.
Okay.
So that's why it was like, he didn't care about us because we actually had the night my baby was born, he called me and we had got an argument on the phone. So I'm like, yo, like, I see you all on Twitter and you all, dick riding Javante all down your timeline. Like you don't post nothing about Mayweather's guy, you don't post nothing about us on there. And Javante not even with Mayweather no more. And then that's when cause I had heard rumors at first, but that's the night I put two and two together because he said he slipped up and said he worked for him. Cause I was already hearing rumors about it and hearing it from the side of Javante camp saying that Leonard was about to leave Mayweather's and go work for him. So then that's when I put it out there and, Floyd heard of it. And that's when the ball got moved.
So listen, Mayweather's promotion team. I appreciate the insight. I appreciate you going into detail about that time. That's old news. Let's talk about the new news. Who you with now?
Misfits Pro.
Misfits Pro, right? So you with Misfits Pro, and you started this new leaf. You look like you're on the up, on the come up, mentally, physically,
Yeah.
and whatnot. And the fighter that really didn't get into all those, was nervous over to his third professional fight and all this stuff, got a voice now. And you be sparring on Twitter with some of these cats, man. uh, Specifically last week with a cat named Floyd Schofield Jr. Man, what's your beef with him?
It ain't no beef. He been ducking me since I turned pro, so it ain't really no beef. It's just I don't respect nobody that's ducking. So that's really all it is.
I interviewed Floyd in preparation for his eighth fight and his dad. Uh, and I interviewed them, and that's their talk is all about wanting to fight this person, but you're saying like they be ducking.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's I feel like that's everybody's like everybody got that one person they duck and try to avoid
Yeah.
and stuff, and like I treat boxing a little different than all these other guys treat it because of the way I was raised. If in my city, if somebody call you out for a fade, if you duck the fade, then you like, that's basically like getting called a hoe. Like people gonna treat you like one because especially if they call you out in front of people. So, that's how I look at it. Like, if somebody call you out, like you gotta see him, even if it's sparring. Like, it ain't even gotta be a real fight. It can be sparring. Like, you just gotta see him.
Yeah. You posted a video of him missing the seat in the fight when he fell coming back to his corner. You said that you'll touch his chin real good, man. You believe that he can't stand up to your power if you were to fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
believe he can.
And
And I see a lot of guys getting exposed right now for their chin.
they had somebody posted something, and you said that's easy work, man. It was Chris Colbert. So you think you could beat Chris Colbert if I'm getting that right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Chris Colbert, yeah. He fast. I give him that. He fast. He fast like crazy, but he chin too. And that's walking down. Like, I'm the type of fighter you gotta have some type of power to make me respect you to not just come in.
Yeah, yeah.
And even if I respect that power, I can still box. So that's why I like say, I'm a versatile fighter. Like, I can take the fight to them, but if I feel like that's too dangerous or something, I can outbox them.
And finally, Shakur Stevenson. You've been active with his. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got it right here. You said smoke him, and I looked at the thing was talking about Chris Colbert, and but Shakur Stevenson. Now he's the big dog. He's the big dog in boxing in the division. A lot of people are calling him out. A lot of people want to fight Shakur Stevenson, uh, probably for the payday. But why do you want to fight him?
See, and that's where people get it confused at a little bit. People think I'm trying to fight them in the ring. It's more something personal. You feel me? So that's like
Okay.
it's like yeah, that's more like of when I see you, it's that on site. Cause
It's just on some old other shit.
yeah, that's more on site. That's why I like. That's why it be fun. I be having fun talking back to the fans and the trolls on Twitter and stuff. But they don't be knowing everything. You feel me? They be always be like, oh, he trying to get a big check, fight check and all that by fighting these big guys, but they don't be knowing like a lot of the stuff that happened behind the scenes. And it went kind of viral about the sparring session I had with his cousin. Uh, um, he was there, and that's when it started. And I had dropped his cousin and stuff, and then we was all good. We was all cool. I dapped up everybody that was in his camp there, but him like he was acting weird. Cause I was about to walk up to him and dap him out, but he was giving that energy and that type of look like nah, like I don't fuck with you. So I left it at that. And shit, everything was cool. Me and the dude that sparred, we follow each other on Instagram and everything. Me and his cousin Zaquan was following each other and everything. So it was cool. And then word started getting out about what happened because it wasn't no video. Like I was the only one that had the pictures, but I ain't put no pictures out. But word of mouth started getting out. So this guy Southpaw TV, uh my guy, he don't like them. So he made sure he put it out there once he heard of it. And when he heard of it and put it out there, they got salty. So, they because when we sparring, it was one of those sparring sessions. They said no recording. They was like the cameraman could take pictures because we both had cameramans on our teams. They was like they could take pictures, but no recording, none of that. So once he got out there, he got salty, and then he tried to drop like some clips. So then like of course that made me feel some type of way. You was saying the whole time, no videos and all that, and now y'all dropping videos that y'all was sneaking in. So I was like, cool, bet. That's when I dropped the pictures of me dropping them. Because at first when I was saying it, they was denying it, like it never happened. Then I dropped the videos. So once I dropped the videos, then I mean not the video, but dropped the pictures. That's when Big Bro wanted to come save the day for him. So he slid in my DMs, talking crazy, like talking like, like he really liked that or something. But like not even talking like that, like he liked that in the ring. I'm talking like he talking like that to me, like he liked that outside the ring. So I took you. I feel like you pull him off hard. So we got into it, and then he said some things in the DM, and I'm like, bet, like when I see you, like it's that. Because at first it was just in the DM. That was it. It was just in the DMs, and then I wake up the next morning, and people sending me screenshots from off Twitter of Shakur talking about me on Twitter. So he was the one that had took it to the internet at that point that's how people knew we started beefing. So um when they go to the internet, like I don't really like to talk to say too much, so I just be trolling. I just be messing with them just to piss people off. So I started messing with him and I was getting in his head. And it was funny because he was I forgot who he was getting ready to fight at that time. But he was getting ready. He was in camp for a fight. Like it was like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out from his fight. And I was getting in his head so bad that his camp called Floyd for Floyd to talk to me to get me to chill out. Cause I remember I said something about his baby mama. And that's when, we found out his baby mama is his soft spot. So if anybody watching this, if y'all want to get in his head, you gotta talk about his baby mama. But we found out his baby mama is soft spot. So that's when they was like he wasn't focused in camp. Like all he kept talking about was me and stuff. So they called Floyd, to ask Floyd to get me to back off. But yeah, like I said, it was some stuff he said that made it personal, even though like, I troll and stuff on Twitter, just from on the internet, but in person, like, it's something different.
Gotcha. So this is real. Like if you see him on site, what exactly did DM he say to take it to that level?
He tried like it ain't really what he said is what he did. Because what he said wasn't wild. But like I don't know if he was trying to be funny or what, but I don't play like that. But he did my mom. Like he did my mom, like, cause he said something in the DM, like, yeah, like that's why I'm gonna fuck your mom, whatever, whoop, whoop. And like obviously I'm brushing that off. But once you try to actually do like DM and try to go there with it, like now that's you crossing the line, you feel me? Like that's why I was saying, like, that's why I don't be respecting or treat boxing like how these other dudes treat it. I treat it differently because I was raised on different principles. Like it's certain things my dad taught me you don't do in beef. So like, cause it was actually one time I did see him while we into it, but we was in the airport. It was crazy because we was getting on the same. It was actually when I was getting on my flight for my last fight. We was both on the same flight, and I wanted to take it there with him, but I turned around and seen he had his kid with him. So, the way my dad taught me, like it's always certain times and places. One, I didn't feel like the airport was the type of place because we something happened there, you end up getting on a no flight list
Right.
for airlines. And then two, he had his kid with him. It's like I didn't feel like it was that deep to take it there in front of his kid. So, I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me, especially if it's not that deep of a beef. So, that was the only time I did let him get a pass. But I had told him too, like I told him what I was gonna do to him, so he know when I see him, like it's that.
Gotcha. All right. So now let's focus. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the details. And you got in a couple of weeks your third fight this year. Let's talk about that fight, man. I saw the fight poster. I like the fight poster. You got you with your arms crossed, and
Yeah.
look, you're about to be business with purple in the background. You're fighting in the UK. Purple's the color of royalty. Was that coincidental, or you trying to send a message that you're about to be the king of the division?
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of both. I
Gotcha.
feel like it's a little bit of both. It was a coincidence because I didn't know, like they sent me the flyer and made sure it was cool with me. I told them it was cool, but that was probably something on their end that they put together like that. But I definitely feel that concept, especially at 130, 135 for sure.
This is your first fight in England. It's not your first fight overseas. Because I think you fought in Japan one time, right?
Now, it'll be my first official real fight. I
Official
had
real
an
fight.
exhibition in London and I had an exhibition in Dubai overseas. So
Correct.
I've done been out like fought twice, but this would be my official like on box rec fight.
Listen, nope. They call them exhibitions, but you were fighting. Like that Tanaka fight was a fight. They should put that shit on. They should put that shit on your boxing ring. That was no exhibition. See, y'all were fighting. So, hey, but let's talk about
Yeah, we was throwing them things.
man. Y'all were thumping the the fight you got coming up in England. You ever been to England before?
Yeah, London.
Mother, you've been to
London.
London, and this is going to take place in Newcastle, I think.
Right.
Uh, right. So talk to me about your opponent. Right. I don't see nothing less than a knockout for you, based on my research I did with him. Uh, why is talk to me about your thought process in these three fights. These are obviously just build-up fights, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That once I got with them, they knew like, it's been a layoff for me. I haven't fought since 2022. So their main thing that we talked about was keeping me active so I can get that ring rust off and get back to, how it was. So yeah, I don't feel like he's, a huge threat at all. But I don't look past no one. I definitely feel like it's gonna be a stoppage. I kind of watched him a little bit. I see like he kind of throw wild and stuff, so it's gonna be a little bit I have to watch out for, but nothing I haven't seen before, won't be prepared for. But it's definitely just getting me back right, which I feel like after this one I'll be good, like ring rust wise, because I had already talked to my manager and discussed to him about calling out some of these other guys and start getting bigger fights going. And when I say bigger fights, you don't gotta be nobody like who I want, like Kid Austin and all them, but as bigger fights as in, them like the guys they're fighting. Like they're fighting guys that's that can fight, they got good records, but they ain't no big names. Like, just to keep building me up, getting me ready for that next stage in my career. So It's gonna be a great show. I feel like it's gonna be an early stoppage. You know, the guy for his record, he's actually ranked pretty high in Brazil. I guess I don't know if they got a lot of fighters over there or what, but I think he's ranked like number 6 in Brazil. So
Yeah.
and somehow I don't know how with the record, but somehow he ranked higher than me. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't. I'm still trying to understand how that work on BoxRec. Somebody told me like if because they was like if I once I beat someone, if they go and start winning after I beat them, that'll help make my ranking go up.
Yeah.
It's something. Yeah, I heard something like that. So I don't know if that's what happened and once he get. Yeah, I don't know, but somehow he ranked higher than me. So I'm ready to go ahead and get him out the way so I can move up more in the rankings and start climbing up. So when I am calling out these guys, I got that background like, hey, like, I'm ranked number 25, number 20, 15, whatever, you can't keep ducking.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I did a little research on him too. It looks like he can't win a fight unless he knocks somebody out. So he got 6 wins and 5 knockouts. So I'm sure you're aware of that, And
Yeah, I think that.
yeah, you've seen that. So uh what's next after this fight? Where do you see yourself in 2025 as far as in pursuit for a world title?
Um, Definitely active. I heard that, we're gonna have a pretty active 2025 year. And like I said, I've been having them talks with my team that, I wanna if not going for, a title next year, being right there in line to going for one by 2026. And then we gotta be one of the major titles gonna be the silver title or something like that, but just going ahead and getting that foundation under me. So like I said, when it's time to really step up with the bigger fights or call out these guys that I want, guys can't be like, oh nah, like, I ain't trying to you like brushing me off. Like, you know how they be doing that's which I kind of feel like that was some, that changed the game with Floyd. Everybody want that perfect record. So people be trying to only fight people to keep that and they cherry pick certain fighters. So I feel like eventually it'll get back to how it used to be back in the day where it didn't matter if you had an O or not. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest, but he wasn't undefeated.
No,
Yeah, I seen it.
know it, man. And that's what I was about to say, right? So I got Muhammad Ali here. I got Joe Louis here. My whole wall full of all these great fighters, right? And hopefully one day I can put you up there too, right?
Oh
So
yeah, definitely.
all these walls full of great fighters, and every one of these fighters, with the exception of Rocky Marciano, all had a loss on their records, and they're all Hall of Famers. So I feel you on that. I feel you 100%. So J'hon Ingram had a 2024 a roller coaster of a year. You had some highs, you had some lows, you overcame some obstacles, you shrugged off some haters. Where's J'hon Ingram now mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? Are you happy?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm happy, with the adjustment I made. Like I changed a lot. I done changed where I move, changed coaches, I changed everything around me. It was just time for a fresh start, time to get back to, being grounded, being in my roots, I never liked Vegas. I wasn't never in the Vegas lifestyle, with all the casinos and the partying, but it was just too much for me, you been in North Carolina, you know how it is there. Unless you go to Charlotte, it ain't really nothing going on anywhere else.
Right.
So, even in my small city, Winston, and then my nana lived in the country. I told her I spent a lot of time with my nana out there in the country, so it was real quiet out there. And then in the city, it's stuff going on, but it's not like how Vegas is, where it's something every day. So that was something like I didn't get fine to like, where I'm at. I'm in Arizona now. When I wake up, it's quiet, peaceful. At nighttime, at a certain time, you don't hear no cars, no nothing. In Vegas, you hear stuff 4 or 5 in the morning, and like I like my peace. It helps me be able to focus and have my mental right. So that was something that, that I made in that adjustment right after the fight, which was already being talked about before the fight. But after the fight, that's when I just was like, forget it. I'm gonna just make that jump. And it was that, switching from Mayweather camp to Misfits Pro, like all that plays a big factor. I'm back. I'm happy. I'm mentally good getting over, the grieving of my brother. So it's gonna be fireworks. I've been looking great in sparring. It's gonna be a show moving forward. It's gonna be a show.
If you had, if you could be granted one more phone call with your brother, what would you tell him today?
I tell him it's crazy. It's funny you say that because every time I go for a run, either early mornings or late nights, and I always talk to him while I'm running, and I tell him that I'm gonna do everything in boxing that he wanted me to. If them guys don't retire by the time I'm there, I'm gonna do everything that he wanted me to. He wanted me to go ahead and knock Javante off that throne, knock Shakur off that throne. So that'd be what I tell him I'm gonna do. If they don't retire yet, I'm gonna do what he wanted me to do.
So if they don't retire, you'll retire.
For sure.
Word, word. All right, man. So listen, I thank you for your time. You've been very generous with your time. I know you're a busy man. You gotta put that work in. All right.
Yes, sir.
Tell your fans, tell the readers and the listeners, why should they watch you on November 22nd, handle business, and why they should follow you into 2025.
November the 22nd, you should check me out because I'm always put on a show. I'm always put on a great performance. And my style is just something you got to see. And even outside the ring, I'm a great person. I talk a little junk to people, keep it interesting, keep it spiteful. But, all around, I'm a great guy. I'm someone that you should watch and tune into. And you can find me on social media at J'hon Ingram or Ingram J'hon. And also you can Google me. But, I'm one of them fighters that you have to be there to see it.
That works. That works. All right, Fight Fans, whether you have it, the talented, lightweight prospect, soon-to-be contender, J'hon Ingram, going for his sixth win, November 22nd, and more on 2025. Champ, I appreciate you taking time being here with me today, talking to us, and I look forward to talking to you and following your career in the future. And
Yes,
North Carolina, in the Fayetteville area. All right, I'm in Hope County. I'm in Rayford.
Okay.
Nobody know about Hope County. But anytime you're here, man, please grace my studio, man.
Okay, for sure. Thank you.
No Standing 8 Boxer Podcast. We discuss every organization and weight class.